Okay, that's disgusting. Hey, Justine, we just got back in. I am a little out of it. I don't run that often. I'm gonna have to start doing a lot more of it. Um, but I was trying to drink a protein shake. Did not. It's not that great. I don't have milk for it. It's just water. It's very not pleasant with that. But I forced some of it down. And it should be good until Thursday when I can get some milk and some fruit to mix in and actually make it halfway decent. Alright. This, apparently we're supposed to be doing a hell run, which I don't know much about them. I know it's like running, but much worse. But my buddies really want to do one. And actually, while we were at Exotica, they found an erotic hell run. It was like the very first thing they saw, too. They just ignored all the women and went right to the hell running. So they want to do that. They think it's going to be in April. So I said, all right, if you just bust my ass and keep on me, I'll do that with you. So this was the first night we were starting for that. Wearing my Kurt Angle shirt, because that's the way you train as far as I'm aware. If you're not living by the three eyes, I don't know what you're living by. It was a good weekend. We went down on Friday, and we caught a baseball game. Almost really, the very first thing we did, we went down to catch a Marlins game. They were the worst team in American baseball. I don't know why I said American baseball. It's not like soccer. I don't think your baseball is going to be a lot different than our baseball. But in our American baseball league, the Mets are not, or the Marlins are not that good. But they're facing the Mets, and they actually got a pretty nice win. I think it's 4-1, 3-1. And my buddy Dustin, it was me, Dustin, and Matt. And my buddy Dustin was joking around. I was like, well, if they win, I'm going to have to be a Marlins fan now. And so if they win out the series, which should not happen because they're an atrocious, atrocious team, he was going to be a Marlins fan. And they won that game, and then they ended up winning the second game. We weren't there for that Saturday. We were at the con. They won the second game 8-1. So we were all joking around about it that night. And we go to the third game, and they go up 3-0. And we're like, oh, time to go buy that jersey. The Mets come back, actually get ahead. They're just hitting every freaking inning. They're hitting a home run off this guy who started for the Marlins. But they ended up coming back in I think the fifth inning, fifth or sixth. They settled down, started scoring runs, and they scored another 4 or 5 runs. Ended up scoring about 20 runs over the 3 games. Their 3-game series, and they were only averaging, I think, 2.5 runs per game up till that point. So it was a huge offensive turnaround for them. And we ended the Sunday by him going down and buying a hat and shirt. The best part, he knows some about sports sometimes. Sometimes when he cares, he'll know about them. So we're at the Miami Marlins game for 2 days out of the 3 we're there. It says Miami Marlins everywhere. He has a shirt that says Miami Marlins. On Facebook today, he says something. He's like, hey, did you know they changed the name from the Florida Marlins to the Miami Marlins? Because that's the kind of guy GB is. He's pretty great. I know, okay. A fun little GB thing from this. Alright. In the 1950s, the color barrier in baseball was broken when Jackie Robinson started playing for the Brooklyn Dodgers. And the number 42 has been retired for every team in the country. And Canada, they have team too. But every team in Major League Baseball has number 42 retired. And there is a big 42 hanging up in the stadium in the number. And they just had a movie come out about it because it was an anniversary for it. So 42 just came out here in April, and GB did not obviously watch it by the next thing. And mind you, the Marlins are celebrating their 20th anniversary this year. This is their 20th anniversary. Everybody, it says that all over the stadium as well. So he sees the 42. He's like, I know that. That's Jackie Robinson. I'm like, yeah. He turns to Matt and goes, he played here? And we had a good time ribbing GB about that. GB also, a while back on one of our other trips, we were just lying to GB, and we're like, no Canadian team has ever won the Stanley Cup, which again, Stanley Cup is hockey here, and Canadian teams have won lots of them. If you're not familiar with it, it's a Canadian pastime. Does it look like got thin hair right here. I'm very distracted by this. Don't think this part of my face isn't rugged. Although that whining is not very rugged either. So I'll just talk like this for a moment. Um, Speaking of changing our voices, I used my peppermint voice a little over this weekend, which is an old Mr. Show sketch about a guy being a sex phone operator. And I actually changed my phone to me talking like a female sex tone operator, which I think sounds atrocious, but apparently everyone seems to enjoy it because they keep calling my phone just to listen to it. I'll have to save that for... I'll save that as its own special thing, a special visit from Peppermint and another show. The con itself was really fun. A lot smaller this year as far as people I knew or wanted to see. And a lot of people I wanted to see I could not find or were not available the day we were there, because we only went for a Saturday. From MegaCon, I learned that GB is not going to be... I have a lot more interest in this stuff than they do, just like at the MegaCon. Me and Ben had more fun than GB. There's certain things that we could do. Like, me and Ben could have stayed at MegaCon for the whole weekend and never had a problem with it, but GB was getting bored by like the end of the first day. So they went to the con for one day and met lots of nice people. I got to make fun of some people. Sigmax on fan forums is actually a big fan of one of the girls. Like, they know each other. Like, they know each other pretty well. Like, he has his own name for what that they talk to. It's not Sigmax. It's J Bravo, I think. Yeah, J Bravo. And they'll talk about me every now and then because I know one of the girls who went to dinner a couple years in 2011 when I was out there. So I had to take some pictures with her, making fun of him, holding up some signs. If you check my Twitter feed, you'll probably see that update. It was really busy. We didn't spend as much time because there was less people I knew. We didn't really spend as much time bullshitting with people that I would have wanted to. But we saw some fun stuff. We saw Evan Stone, who doesn't look like it now, but he's like the Triple H of porn, is what he looks like. With, I assume, bigger dick, because I haven't seen Triple H's dick. Probably not as big as Triple H says his dick is, though, but it's because only pretty much Vince McMahon's would be bigger than that. Good times, lots of pictures are going to come up with that. That's pretty much, and then lots of driving. We drove all over. Oh, I don't know why I didn't even consider this. My one friend had to break up with his girlfriend during the weekend. This girl, Samara, who's a nice girl. Probably shouldn't be saying her name, but oops. He said, he said he was going to the convention, so she knew that. She didn't particularly care for it. They've only been dating for a few weeks. But he's like, I have to go to support JD. And so we go, and he's like, he's being pretty, like, good. Like, he's not being inappropriate. But there's this very pretty lady. She's dressed up like a superhero, dressed up like Hit Girl is what he thinks she looks like. And her name's Lay It Down. She does, like, cosplay stuff, and she's got an actual comic book coming out. And so she's like a superhero. So he's texting Samara. He's texting her. He's like, oh, I'm talking to this girl who doesn't do this. And Samara's like, oh, that's cool. And he goes and he gets a picture with her, and we just continue along our day. We go home. We're uploading all the appropriate pictures to Facebook because there's some that are not, especially like Matt and GB both got massages. There's nothing wrong with it. Everybody is dressed. Matt's like, this might be a little more than I want to put on there. So he just puts like the picture of like him and Evan Stone and him of Lay It Down. Like, she's completely covered up. Like, she's wearing latex or leather that pretty much comes up to her neck. It's like up to her neck, like sleeves. Then she's got like the wrists. I mean, maybe she's wearing a skirt. I'll have to double check the pics, but she's not exposed. He posts the pic, and then I go to change. Everybody's very gung ho on me changing my profile pic to the one that's up now, which for some reason Facebook won't let me change my name to Interracial Threesome. I don't know why. So instead it has to be Intracial Threesome, who I imagine is a streetwise tough kid from the Bronx. Probably also a girl, because Intracial sounds like a lady's name to me. But he posts his picture. I'm posting mine. So it's been like 45. Maybe now it's a minute later. And you never told me you were getting a picture with the women. And that set off a whole fun chain of events of them arguing all night about whether or not it was a big deal. And then they decide it wasn't, and they all move on. Except then the next day on the ride home, it all just comes back up again. And she's like, you should call me so we could talk about things. And we're like 4 hours away from home still. So me and Jimmy, being assholes, were like, yeah, you should call her. And he's like, I'm not calling her in the car, guys. I'm like, no, you need to call her. And we're trying to get him to call her. And then I know him pretty well. I go, why don't you just send her a text saying you're breaking up? Now, not that I think that's a good idea. It's just I know that's what he's going to do. I know he's not going to actually call her. I was hoping that he would send that and then she would call him and he would have to answer. So he does, and like it's not really emotional because they've only been dating for a little while, but that we had a big calm conversation, and all three of us about where was going on in our lives and romance and etc. I won't bore you with those details unless you want to hear them. Then feel free, let me know. And I'll tell you all their secrets. That's fine. And I actually had a point I was going with at this, and I have forgotten it, which is bothersome. What was I going to say? Something about this. See, I also don't edit, so this is just going to be on there, and I'm not going to fix it while I ramble and meander slowly to buy time. Damn it! All right, I can't think of it. But I'm at like 12 minutes now, and you're busy. 12 minutes of your time is already more than I deserve or should have. So have a good day, and I will send another one as soon as I can. Bye.